In the world of clicks and views, we got the tricks, ain't got time to lose. Christina and Joe dropping knowledge non-stop for all you realtors. Climbing to the top. Grab your camera, let's make the tape. Content gold, no time to waste. From open house to renovation glory, YouTube secrets unfold your story. Build those leads with every post. Christina and Joe, the ultimate hosts. Market trends and virtual tours. Turn those watchers into door knocking scores. Lights, camera, action, go live. Tips and tricks to help you thrive. Thumbnail magic, title spice. A clickbait charm, but a touch of nice. SEO game on point and tight. Comments bug.
What's up?
What's up, friend? What's up, friend? I put the phone number there. I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually have an AI bot that answers the phones for us. And if you want to leave a question about your YouTube channel or anything related to YouTube, you can call this number, leave a message, and we will download that voicemail. And then we'll put it on the screen next week and answer your question live on this stream. So call it. Call the number. Yeah, and you can ask it all sorts of questions. Try to challenge it, see what happens. But Joe, the AI genius, set it all up.
Yeah, let us know. We love it. It's fun.
It is fun.
Christina has one, and it's cranky.
Yeah, she's like I use it for my live streams. The AI bot, and she's snarky, and she cuts them off like as they're talking. And so now I tell them, I'm like, just bulldoze over her. Just keep talking. Don't let her interrupt you. And they've taken my advice. Like I've made a big joke out of it now.
That's always fun to talk to. Something new, something different, right?
Yeah.
Get the engagement in, get it going.
And that's the whole theme of today's show is like, you know, a lot of people are doing the wrong things in their YouTube videos, and they're really turning off leads by doing what they're doing. And so like what is the one of the things that people do in their content that really turns off leads?
So like the thing that I've seen a lot is and I think maybe because we've talked about it a lot, it's getting better, but at least maybe for people in this group. But before they even say anything of value, it's, hey, I'm such and such realtor from this area, and like and subscribe to my channel. And for more updates, you know, you can see this and that. And they haven't even like said anything yet. That's like the very first thing that they did. And I can only imagine looking at their analytics, and it's just nosediving down. And I wonder, you know, like if people don't realize that you're turning them off because you're talking about yourself before you're even like fulfilling on the promise of why they clicked on the video in the beginning. Yep.
That's a good one. I know there's another one too that drives me insane. It's the minute they have done that whole introduction, at some point in the video, they're asking people to like, share, and subscribe. Your goal for this channel isn't to get them to like, share, and subscribe. As much as people love the subscribers, and it is a vanity metric that you can share with people, and he gives you like street cred, it means absolutely nothing. What makes the biggest difference for you as a real estate agent is them calling you and picking up the phone. So instead of wasting that time of saying, like, you know, be sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel, ask them to call you instead. Yeah. Like
ask for the referral, right?
Right. Ask for the sale, like without being salesy. I think that's another mistake is people tend to like follow scripts they've learned from trainings, and then they get too salesy. So don't do that either. But I would, instead of wasting that time asking them to like, share, and subscribe, ask them to fill out a form, a questionnaire, a book on your Calendly. That time is much more usable. I think it would be much more advantageous to what.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people like they say, well, would they really do that? Would they really fill it out? And the answer is yes, they will, 100%. Especially if you do it in a non-salesy way, right?
Yeah, and make it simple. Like if you make it like a novel, I've seen some people are like, oh yeah, I have them fill out this questionnaire, and if they don't fill it out, you know, it won't even go through. And I'm like, you have a you're asking people a lot. Most people they're on their cell phones a lot of times when they're seeing these things, and to fill out all those questions, come on, just give it,
Yeah.
just no more than 5 questions, really.
Yeah. Even
you
if,
need-
I was going to say, even if they're watching it on the TV, they have their cell phone in their hand and they're scanning the QR code and they're still putting it in through the phone.
yeah,
So it has to be simple.
they need you need their email address and you need their phone number. All the other stuff you can find out when you get their email address and phone number.
Yeah.
So make those forms as simple as possible. So what's another thing that they do that like really turns leads off?
I think a lot of it is like one of the things, and it's viewers, right? Is
Mhm.
if you could have really crappy video, and if your audio is good, it's okay. But
Mhm.
if you're talking and you've got music so loud, or you have like the audio volume is so low that they'll just swipe away, they'll click and watch another video, because for whatever reason people get annoyed with sound way more than they'll give you more grace with video. But I don't know what it is, but sound, for some reason, if they have to hear it, or if it's like, I can barely hear you, or this. I mean, people will definitely tell you what they think about your editing and things like that. But to turn them
Music
off
will-
is when if you're talking about something really important and they can't
Mhm.
understand it, or it's really, really over, like the mute, maybe you're trying to drown it out with music, you're going to hear from it and it's going to turn them off.
That is one of those things that like I learned very early on. People loathe music. And I even noticed this on even short form platforms. Like I'll see, because I'm a TikTok addict, I'll see on TikTok, they'll say, this would have been so much better if I could have heard what they were saying, but that music's so loud. And I was like, I heard everything. But people genuinely get turned off by music. And years ago, I even used to put the music all the way through the whole video. And I'm like, people are like, if you could just turn off the music, there's no reason to have the music. And so then I just stopped doing music. I think it's okay though.
You need to use it in like be smart about where you place it.
Right. If you have some like B-roll images and it's just a little like a whole collage of like pictures you're going through, and you just have a moment where nobody's talking, you have a little bit of music there and then it fades out. That works. But don't overdo it with music, because you can turn people off immediately.
I think that actually turns it actually turns people to look at it and go, wow, this person, like, it's more engaging. So like there are things that you can incorporate into your videos, like sound design, where you add maybe a little a swoosh or a cash register, a cash register, or like other little things to in like enhance what you're saying. But what you don't want it to do is like overpower what you're doing. And that's where I think a lot of people get turned off, is when that's distracting rather than helping.
Yeah. Another thing too is and it's not as common as it used to be, but making a video title and thumbnail that doesn't relate to the actual content.
Yeah.
When they say it's going to be about one thing, but they don't even get to that one thing until you're midway through the video, you've turned off a lot of people. They don't really get to the point of what the title and thumbnail was supposed to be right from the beginning. That's a big one. It's not as common as it used to be. People used to say, well, I want to save the best for last.
Yeah. And they're like, no,
it's
clickbait.
Yeah. Well, what I say is put the best first.
Yeah.
Put the best first. You want to put the best stuff first, because if you put in the really good stuff, the juicy stuff at the beginning,
I'll never get to it.
Well, if you put it at the beginning, they'll end up watching the rest because they were like, oh, that was so good. And they end up watching the rest, even though the rest they probably already knew.
Well, I mean, it goes back to like it, and there's so many different things that will turn away a viewer. And the biggest thing to look at is your analytics, because that's going to tell you, like, if you see, we call it the hockey stick of death, but you see your video and it starts out and then it just goes down and then straight, like that, whatever you're doing in the first 15 seconds of that video, you need to do it differently, because that's the one thing that you want to avoid. And there's lots of different ways of doing that, but it depends on your channel, and it depends on like the content that you're doing. But if you're doing an educational channel or a talking head channel, like what we talk about, is you need to hook them in. You need to bring them in and deliver on what the thumbnail and what the title said, so that they're like, oh, they are going to address why I clicked on this video. It's not going right into these other things. What are some other things that you've noticed or that you've seen?
Ending language. So like in the middle of a video, they'll say, yeah, well, anyways,
All right, guys.
Yeah, all right, guys. And you still have 2 more minutes of your video. It starts turning people off because you've already used this verbiage and
like you're ending,
right? So they think, oh, I'm just going to go to the next video. I've seen it like right in the middle of the video.
Like, well, anyway, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. And then they're like, oh, but one more thing. No,
yeah, too late.
You already lost them.
Gone.
You lost them. And you're thinking, well, that was only a couple seconds. People have zero patience anymore. It used to be that people would sit in front of the TV and mindlessly watch for hours because they were too lazy to pick up the clicker to switch the channel.
Now it's like,
yeah, now they have these phones and it's right in their hand, or they're at their TV, it's right in their hand, and then boom, they're done. They're gone.
Yeah, there's lots of little teeny things, but so we've talked about like some of the things that are like turning them away and making them not want to tune in. What can you say, and what can we talk about to help them stay and to engage and to start to follow?
Well, first, and we talk about this to nauseum, but first is understanding who you're making content for. That's another mistake that people make with their content, is that they have no direction or content strategy to begin with. So once you have found out what your content strategy is going to be, stick with that strategy so you continue to upload videos for that specific type of viewer and honestly your ideal avatar, your ideal client that you want to work with.
Yeah.
And you start with that. Then you start to understand what it is you need to be doing in your thumbnails and titles to bring those people in. And once you've gotten to that point, now you got to work on that, the first 15 seconds of that hook, right? And get straight into the content. Like people don't do it as much as they used to, but occasionally we'll still come across people that use made intros. Like they'll do a little thing where they repeat the title, like, oh, today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways to buy a house. And then, my name is Joe Eves and we're going to be talking about ABC Realty. Yeah. Then they roll a intro that doesn't exist anymore. So you get straight into the content. Like you literally say, there's 5 new ways that people don't even think about when buying a house. Number 1, you just get into it. You're not wasting people's time, and people love that because time is the most precious gift you can give to people right now. So
yeah, and a lot of them think like, they think, well, I think a lot of agents are like, well, it looks cool, so I want to make this intro so that I look like I'm more professional, and instead of realizing like you're making content for the viewer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and another thing too, and this is a new revelation that has happened over the last year. People are too dependent on AI. And we just had a consultation call with a couple of people, and we were talking. She's like, what if AI takes over content creation? AI is a tool, and it's not meant to create your content for you. Never, ever, ever. What people get so confused is they think that YouTube is this computer algorithm AI that's only, doing what the computer knows how to do. The algorithm is following the viewer's behavior, and the viewer is what the algorithm is. That's what fuels the AI. So you have to satisfy an audience so the AI knows who else to give your content to. So once you understand that, you'll continue to make more and more videos related to that person because the AI knows who to deliver it to. It's a big mistake that people make because they think that they're trying to game the system. Like, oh, I already had AI create this script, and I already had AI create this thumbnail, and I had AI create the title, and it's all SEO rich, and I did a 650 word blog post inside my description, and then I had AI create tags, and then I had AI do the voiceover part. So AI had done the whole entire video. I can guarantee to you, no one's watching that crap. Nobody.
It's not personable. And man, I got a tickle in my throat here. Just one
Oh,
second.
you know what? I might have given you my flu through the computer.
No, we've had too many consultations apparently. But anyway, one of the things is AI is a great tool, and I love it, as you know.
Mhm.
But you need to realize that there has to be a human element to everything that's being done. So yes, it can definitely help you like flush out ideas. It can help
Correct.
you generate titles that maybe you hadn't thought of going down a different path, but you
Oh,
still
you're
all right,
dying.
finally I think I got it now. But you still have to create that title. You still have to put that human like element to it. You can't just be like, I think a lot of agents are like, well, it's better than what I would have wrote. And so they're like, so it must be good. And it's really not that.
Yeah, and then they look at it as they're following these steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Instead of doing it like that, really people should be sharing their stories of what has happened to you in real estate transactions, right? So you're giving them the 5 new things to buy a house, the 5 new ways to buy a house. Instead of going step 1, you do this. Really, step 1, you share a story of
Yes.
what has happened with a client and how they were able to buy that house using this different method. Step 2 is a different story of a different client that bought, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to share those things. AI is not going to be able to create
No.
that kind of a script for you. I mean, as much as I love ChatGPT, it's very limited on it's not creative at all.
Yeah.
And their only way to share those stories is you have your own personal experiences to share them. And,
100%.
and if you've been in this business for even a year, you have stories to share. Whether that's working with bad real estate agents, working with bad title companies, having to deal with title attorneys, bad home inspectors, you have stories to share within your content. You can, and people enjoy those stories, so that way they can visualize that not happening to them in the future. Like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. Thank God I saw that video. That
It's
poor
really it's really no different than when you sit down and you meet with someone that you haven't ever talked to before, and they ask you, well, like, what can you tell me about this area, or what can you tell me about this product or
Mhm.
whatever? And it's like it's you're drawing from your personal experiences and you're telling these stories. And we've found and we know that gets the very best engagement, the best retention is when you are actually sharing a story. And the way, like, to put it into perspective is you could say, yeah, here's 5 things to avoid when buying your first home. And you go down and you do this list. And then the difference is when you say, you know what, like, I just helped some people and they bought their very first home. And here's some of the things that they ran into. One of the very first things that they ran into is, one, they got pre-qualified. They didn't get
Mhm.
pre-approved, and they didn't know the difference. And you know what I mean? So you start to bring in that actual story, and then people are going, well, wait a second, am I pre-qualified or am I pre-approved? Or what, I better reach out to them, and get some clarification. And that is how you get your leads, because you're providing value by sharing your experience, not
Yep.
just doing a video on, hey, this is they also get a chance to like see your personality. And I think
Mhm.
that's the thing, is when you're able to like, when you share your personal experiences, you're one, it's an experience, so it, like, you can
Mhm.
you can tell it a lot better than someone like, and I use a teleprompter on a lot of things. If I'm telling a personal experience, or if I know something really well, I don't need a teleprompter. I just tell the
Mhm.
story. But having that story and having that engagement, when you pull something in that people can actually relate to, is so much more powerful than just giving them tips.
100%. And we're gonna I truly believe that we're just gonna see a lot more people that are gaining success just because they're really good storytellers.
Yes.
You know, and it's not like once upon a time I was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
It's not going to do that. That might actually make a really interesting video, though.
Story time.
Yeah, story time.
Exactly.
I might actually use that.
Yeah.
But you know, that those you know, people talk about that. That's what they mean by sharing your authentic self. You know,
Yeah.
every time you go to those conferences and they're like, please share your authentic self. You know, when you see other real estate agents copy other real estate agents, and you're like, oh, that video is awful because it falls flat and it wasn't their content. It wasn't from them. It's not them being themselves, right? But then when you see people that finally, when they have like kind of broken free and they decide to make stuff that they want to make, all of a sudden you start seeing who they truly are. And then all of a sudden they start getting momentum to their channel. And sure enough, who knew, they actually start getting leads out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, but it comes back to the point of what you're saying. Like you can get inspiration, and you should get inspiration from other sources and other places, but then you put your own personal touch and spin and your perspective on it too, because two people could look at the same thing and they will describe it totally different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing too is that when it comes to using AI, I want to go back to that. You can use elements when you're creating AI, anything in AI for your thumbnails. But please, I know this has been a trend, people using all AI for their area.
Yeah.
Nothing made me like literally fall over backwards than someone that lives in a beautiful area. And instead of using pictures from the area, like literally walk outside and take a freaking picture of your beautiful area, they were using AI images. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's obvious that it's AI. Why would you do that? Like, you really need to, like, AI is a tool. As a matter of fact, I've even used AI not to create the thumbnail, but tell them what the title is and give me their viewpoint of what this should look like. And then I'm inspired to make a thumbnail from that image and use real photographs from doing that. It's a really good tool. Sometimes I'll use some AI images, but it's never the whole entire thumbnail. Don't do that.
Well, I think it goes back to like, you know, like one of the things that we teach in the course, and that's to be prepared and to like actually plan out your stuff. So there's nothing wrong with using AI to help you design. It's no different than a designer tool. You're taking elements of it and then you enhance it, but you still have to be able to tell the story. And the thumbnails, at least right now, are not doing that, right? Like they just can't. But you can get good and you can get a lot of good stuff, but ultimately you still need to give like, you need an editing tool like your PicMonkey or Photoshop or whatever to help you enhance what you're trying to sell on or tell on that thumbnail.
So I just got Sora today. I literally got it like an hour ago on my Chat GPT, and I just typed in there, I said, like happy home purchase, someone buying a house. So I want to see because you can create videos in Sora,
like little videos now,
little clips. And this is great for B-roll, right? But I would never, please do not use all your video. It's great for like a B-roll type thing, but I would not do it for your entire video. That's for sure. See, it just shows somebody like shaking hands. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, from having to go to Storyblocks and actually like find a clip and then download it, doing that is much, much more efficient for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And then it won't be like the same B-roll that everybody has in their clips. Exactly. I always laugh because sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, have you seen this video?" And you're like, even on the national news, I'm like, that came from Storyblocks.
Yep.
I die laughing.
So that being said, I know there's a lot of people that use like Chat GPT and Dolly for their thumbnails. Like I was huge on it, right? Because at the time, and this was how long ago? Maybe like 6 months ago? Maybe a year ago. It's been a minute, But at the time, it was incredible for what you could do. And there's just, if you're using Chat GPT or DALL-E 3 right now for images, there's better resources out there. And the one that I would recommend that's only $10 a month is Midjourney. That is by far the best image generator for like text to image out there. And
yeah, but if you want some like cool celebrity photos that you would like want to gaff on, Grok.
yeah, I mean, yes, if you want to have some light, that's true. I mean, Midjourney is going to have more restrictions, and Grok definitely. But the problem with Grok is you have to do it on your phone, and then you have to download it, and then put it on your computer. So
I can do it. I can do it right now on my computer.
it wouldn't let me do it on mine. I tried it a couple times, and it wouldn't let me download it from X.
Oh, let me try. Let's see.
And maybe I'm not as cool as you.
All right, let's see. Because I was making images. So
Are you on a PC?
yeah, no, I'm on
your
an
Mac?
Apple
I don't know. It wouldn't let me do it the other day.
of a baby eating a cow. Yeah, it always makes me do this. I have to confirm my birth year. Do you have to do that on here?
If I'm signed in, I don't, but
Let's see what it does. Because I was able to download it. I was
that's
making
good.
images.
Maybe they made an update, because I tried it the other day and I'm like, this thing is still only letting me do it on my phone.
Oh, huh. But it's another one of those AI images.
Yeah. So, and it's great because
Look how
Elon,
real that baby looks.
yeah. Well, the thing is that Elon is going to let you do a lot more so for example, like I did do one with Jerome Powell that you couldn't do in Midjourney. So if you're trying to do something like, I had him like shooting like laser beams out of his eyes and stuff like that, and it did it. But if you're doing like a lot of like super creative stuff, that I'm telling you, like Midjourney is great. Now that looks fantastic.
It looks pretty good. The figures are still a little off. I mean, if you're really studying.
Yeah, if you look at it close.
Yeah, but here's the little button, save. So I was able to save it.
Yep, I'll have to look into it. But either way, like I guess my point is, if you've been using like the thumbnail creator that I put together or some of these others, there's just better things out there now than, and that's all, it hasn't even been that long. And there's things that have like, it's completely changed. Like video is well, and then cloning yourself. And I actually have started using AI I clone myself, and I've started using AI to help with some of my thumbnail designs, like with me personally, like in the thumbnail, because it's like, oh, I don't want to have to go do this or whatever, and so I've done it, and they've turned out really good. So
did you just move this?
Did I move what?
The little screens? Did you?
No, I haven't touched anything. What did you do?
I don't know. I think my thing got possessed. We don't have any
no channel reviews that have been submitted, but hey, if they want to submit some, they can. And you know what? We got some people watching. Well, why don't we pull up some other examples? Maybe if just like some screen share stuff. Like I think that'd be kind of cool. Like go in and maybe let's walk through some of these tools.
Okay. Do you want to do Midjourney right now?
Yeah, I'll do Midjourney. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So let me show you. Let's see. Got to share the right screen here. So let me find it. All right. This thing is always fun. All right. Can you see it okay? Is it on there? Is the screen on or no?
Yeah, it's on. Okay.
So before Midjourney, you had to do everything through Discord, but now you can do basically through a web browser, and you can search stuff. So this is why I like Midjourney, is because maybe I don't know exactly, like I could do like real estate, right? And then it's like, okay, it's doing some logos. Maybe I do real estate, sign. Okay, so now we've got some stuff like that. And then for sell, let's say, so maybe you're looking for a specific type of for sell sign or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can tweak, or maybe it's
the They still don't get the words quite right though.
You can get it right though. With this, there's a way to do it, but it takes
Mhm.
just a second. But you could do like house. So like you can see, oh, I really like this house right here.
Mhm.
So now rather than having to go in and actually do the prompt, you can just click this button for
Mm.
prompt and then it
Mhm.
puts it in there for you. And then you have like these little sliders. So then I could slide this to landscape so that it fits
Ah,
more like the
thumbnail.
thumbnail. And then you also have like some pretty cool stuff that you can do where you could add to it. So maybe let's do that. And then I'm going to also put um, with a for sale sign in the yard. So then I've just added a little bit more to it, just stick a for sale sign somewhere. Let's see what it
Mhm.
looks like. But basically, right from there, go ahead and hit submit. And then you're going to have like your stuff that it created. And then now it's got
Some signs.
some signs for sale. And then obviously,
Mhm.
if it's like, oh, that's not right, it doesn't look good, you can actually now do edit. And there's an editor where you
Mhm.
can go in here and then you could say like, let me go back. I could go in here and then do instead, I'm going to just do quotes so that it knows it's text.
Mhm.
And then it'll just change this section so it doesn't redo all of it, which is really cool. So like when
Oh.
you start to like edit, you're
Mhm.
like, man, I really like this. And then when you went and made a change, it changed the whole design,
Can
right?
you take the trees out?
Yes.
'Cause
So
that's what
you
always bugs me. Like, I like the house, take out all the damn
Yeah.
trees.
So then you can see now it has a different sign.
Ah.
So then it's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, I really like that, but man, I hate these trees. So then you go in here and you're just gonna go, okay, I don't like any of these trees.
Mhm.
And then you just be like, 1950. So we'll do the front of the house. And let's do clear sky. This is where
Mhm.
prompting um,
Yeah.
kind of matters. But then you go ahead and hit submit. And then now it keeps a history of what you've done. So if it screws up, you can always go back and redo it to this.
Uh-huh.
But what's really cool is you can really start to change like how these images look in a matter of minutes. So if you really found something you like, so these ones are still changing. So it didn't
Trees.
really do a great job of that. So
Uh-huh.
I'd need to do a different prompt, right?
With no trees.
But with no trees, right? Exactly. So you could do that. And then what's cool is you have, when you're done, you can retexture it. Like this is kind of a cool feature. You could turn it into like, you could retexture it to like yarn or whatever. If you've seen those images where you can change like just different stuff. The other cool thing is you've got like a suggestive prompt and it'll actually
Mhm.
suggest that prompt for you, which
Mm.
is really cool. So it'll give you like, okay, here's what it's suggesting. So let's go in and see
What
if that,
they
yeah, if it changes or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
So again, it's just one of those things that you can kind of mess around with and see what changes you can do. But like going back to your point, like I use it a lot for, so then it's obviously moved different backgrounds. I
Mhm.
probably just use like what you're saying, like an editor and just delete the whole thing because it'd be
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah, and, like, when they've eliminated enough trees, then
Yeah.
I can edit it out pretty
Exactly.
easily.
But here's the cool thing is you can go in. So like you can see here's some of this graphics. This is my boy. So this actually looks just like him. So we made some graphics and put him on there. But
Did you
there's
have to upload an image of him?
so I did. I uploaded an image of him. And
Uh-huh.
then after I uploaded an image, I did it as a Pixar character. So like the image that
Oh,
here's the image that I uploaded. I don't know if
so
you can
but
see it.
it oh, man, that looks just like him.
Yeah. So then you do these things, and that's just with this. If you're really wanting to clone, then you can get into like a more of a in-depth one. But This is just because he was wanting to be like a little doctor or whatever for his little
Mhm.
school parade or whatever. And so, you can do like those kind of things, and you can just see.
I
I
love
was
that.
messing with like, okay, can you do celebrities? Like where will it let you do that?
Mhm.
And then you can go in looking at different perspectives. This is where it's kind of cool for like if you're doing like real estate, like different perspectives that people can see.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with like, this kind of stuff. But then what was really cool, let me see if I can find it here, is oh yeah, so then you've got like, some of these that you've got in here, but like the suits, like they've
Ah,
got these different
you were doing the sexy
AIs.
Santa.
Yeah, so it becomes like my daughter needed to do like a horror movie poster. So I mean, we've
That
used
would
it
work.
used
That
it
would
for a ton. But again, going back through, yeah, you have to change some of this stuff a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But and then here's the movie poster it came up with, like some of these movie posters that we did.
Mm.
But she's really big into horror. So and then like just different so this is where I'm saying like elements, right? Like so
Mhm.
these are the elements that you could use um inside of your stuff. And then like my dog.
Joe, good look at Joe. He said that, well, it looks like I need to add another monthly subscription.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out. So this was what I was looking for. So you can tweak like pictures of yourself with this editor, and that's why I wanted to show you, is because you can take like a picture. The
Mhm.
only thing that's like me is basically this face. Everything else is like what do you call it? Like all
AI generated.
AI generated, right? I've got a few more I was going to share.
That one, every time I see that picture, it makes me think that you look like Salvador Dali.
Right. So
At
anyway,
the beach.
like here's me with, oh yeah, here you go. Here's me with dreadlocks. So anyway, there's a lot of cool things with this that you can do to incorporate like with your different logos and stuff. But ultimately, you wouldn't want to make like the whole thing, you wouldn't want to make the whole thing the thumbnail. You just want to
Right.
incorporate those images, right? And like
Elements.
and add those elements to it.
Mhm. He says another monthly subscription.
Yeah.
I'm so guilty of that. Like I think there's a system that you can purchase to get all of those monthly subscriptions off your
Yeah.
card. I need to figure that out.
Yeah. I
Just-
know. It's like, oh, there went another one.
yeah, I
But
know.
I'm super guilty of this because I'll see something and I'm like, oh, I need that, and
Yeah,
then go from
forget
there.
about it.
Hmm.
I've every time it comes through, I'm like, oh, I need to cancel that, and I forget.
Yeah, and then it's like it reminds you the next month, and you're like, oh, dang, I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's lots of stuff that you can use to incorporate, but really what it comes down to with what we're talking about is creating stuff that's engaging. So you're going to have your thumbnail, right? Like the reason we're spending a lot of time talking about this is because that's that important to have like a really, really good thumbnail and a really good title. But if
'Cause that's where
what
you bring the people in. Those leads
yeah,
come in that way. That's like it's like the cover of your book. A cover,
yeah,
don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody does,
yeah.
unfortunately. So you're gonna have to create something that brings those leads in. So spend more time than you think on that thumbnail.
And if you think that you're like, well, I'm just never gonna get good at it. I just can't do it. Could we pull up your channel and do your oldest video?
Oh, yeah, I just pulled this up today. It was funny because, like I've been creating my thumbnails for eons, but I started off just like everybody else, and I did not make the best thumbnails on the planet. That's for sure. Let me go to my channel real quick, and I'm going to put my oldest ones up. And people are like, why don't you delete those? I'm like, because it shows the journey of what I've been through,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I want to show that like everybody, no one starts off knowing all this stuff, right? These were my first thumbnails. And I mean, honest to God, I thought this thumbnail was thebomb.com. This one
You're
right
like,
here.
oh, look at me. I've got my logo on there. I've got all the things.
I got all the things. It's got some color. It's got some depth. Look at the Gaussian blur in the background. Oh, and like this one, like the words are cut off at the top.
Mhm.
But I didn't know what I was doing, And over time, they got better and better and better. But nobody starts off knowing what to do, and I just, I got views, but look, the average was like about 200 to 300 views. That's not great. We want you to get even better views. And then as soon as my thumbnails started getting better, like after we'll get past the pink here, because some branding coach told me I need to add this obnoxious pink like this. All right. So then I started getting better. You can start seeing like these are getting better. 680 views, 724 views, 55,000 views, 23,000 views. When I simplified and made it easier for you to read, the eye to read, it got better. It got better. The views got better. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. And effort, right? I mean,
Yep.
you like now a lot of people think, well, Christina just is talented and she just understands it. Well, you are, and you understand it because you've been there and you've built hundreds and hundreds, thousands of thumbnails of designs that didn't even make it to YouTube, like that were like, oh, you come up with a few different ones and then it's like, oh, I can't even make it work. I'm not even going to do it. So
Yep.
it comes from actually working and putting that together. But you really, really have to like realize that like we're all in a place, and if you're willing to learn and you're willing, like this is why we do this live stream, is because like we want to share our knowledge with you guys. And if you'll implement what we're showing you, even just a few little things, it will make a difference. And then when you start putting more together, and it's like, if all you did is got better at your thumbnail and your title, your videos would go up, even if you didn't change anything on your editing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, we were talking about like this whole thing is about turning off your leads. I was gonna give one more thing. People that complain on their channel about other real estate agents.
Yeah.
If
They're gone.
Yep. If you start complaining on your channel about another real estate agent, about their content on their channel, you are going to turn people off. I've seen it time and time again. And they're like, oh, it's edgy. And at one time, that was a trend on YouTube to like, cut people down.
Like roast someone or
whatever. Roast someone. And I have a good portion of videos that are out there on the old interwebs that people have tried to like knock me down a peg. And those videos do garbage on their channel. Yeah. I find them because I find them funny. Somebody will send it to me and then I end up contacting them. But never try to take down another content creator in the real estate space to give yourself clout. That's not going to work.
People see right through that. And it's something that they will look for something else. The thing that you can do though, and the thing that you should do, is look at your own videos and look at your own thumbnails and your own titles and go, did I make a better video, or did I make a better thumbnail on this one than I did on the last video that I released?
Good Looking Joe said something smart, and I do this as well. He said, I only roast the Crash Bros as a collective group. Too much fun for me. And I will do that too. I'll say some real estate agents will say, or I've heard through,
but that is completely different than singling out one person,
one specific person. And I call them the Crash Bros too,
Yeah.
Since 2020, man, the market's been crashing, and yet prices still have gone up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, they really knew how to time that market, didn't they?
You go long enough, eventually, you're going to hit a winner.
Yeah, broken clocks right twice a day, right? That's what they say.
They do say that. You ever wonder who they are, though?
The knowers of all.
Yes. Yeah. So that's, again, it goes back to like all of the stuff that we've been talking about, like just incorporating a little bit at a time, because the goal is obviously you want to get them to watch. And I know a lot of people get frustrated because they put some effort into making a video. And we did a review today, and the same thing. They put a lot of effort into making the videos, and they're putting stuff out there. And it's just like, it's like, they're like, there's got to be a better way. I've got to be able to get like more of a response. Why am I not getting that? And that's the thing that, like, it's an art like anything else. You have to understand something, and then when you understand the system, then it becomes something that you can grow. And it's no different than doing real estate. Like, it's really hard to explain how to buy a home as a real estate agent if you've never sold a home as a real estate agent. You have to have that experience. And what better way to guide you through your learning is through people that know how to do real estate and know how to do YouTube. You guys are like, that's the best of both worlds.
Yep.
I mean, I'm tooting our own horn here, so it's fine, right?
Well, man, you know what? I'm proud of us, though. We've got some good students, and the ones that have listened have really excelled. And we know it works, but it takes the right people that are dedicated to actually listening and doing what we tell them to do. The ones that are in it to win it, win it,
Yeah.
Just like anything, like I know out there are lots of gurus that have tons of hacks that give you the scripts. They'll give you the video titles. They'll tell you how to, they'll even make your own thumbnails. And you may get traction on your YouTube channel by doing that. And it's very possible that you could do that. The problem is that you're making content that doesn't necessarily connect with a specific audience. And over time, you're going to see that people that kind of put in a little bit more effort, that they created their own content, they were more original, they didn't buy a script, they made those thumbnails from scratch. Over time, you're going to see those people are going to get way ahead of you.
Yeah.
And and it isn't just about the views, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be a YouTuber. I just want to get leads, right? But in order to get those leads, you're going to have to get more views.
Yeah.
And if you're limiting what you are creating because you're having somebody else make it for you, then you're making content for nobody. So I really think that you should, if you're in this to get the most productive channel possible for the amount of leads that you want to get, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the effort. You're going to have to listen to what Joe and I have said. And if you really want to learn and do it on the cheap, watch every single one of these live streams.
Yeah.
Tell you everything. And it's not in order.
Yeah.
It's not in order, but the advice is solid.
Yeah.
And
the stuff that we're sharing is what we share. Just it's a deeper level in the course, but everything that we're talking about is what we talk about with our students. And we may sound like this is the funny thing, is we may sound like a broken record because we say the same thing every single week, almost exactly the same. It's because there's no secret like ingredient to this. It's really just understanding how to like make a good thumbnail, make a good title, have good videos. The one thing that I will say, that to add to your point about the people giving you the scripting and making the videos, and yes, they may gain a little bit of success quickly, or at least see some results quickly. The problem with that is sometimes it doesn't even resonate with you as the creator to say those things. And that's what we really pride ourselves on, is helping you find what you really want to talk about and what you truly are passionate about, and help you turn that into your channel through real estate. And that's I think that's the hardest. Yes, that's the hardest thing, because people are like, well, I'll just do whatever you tell me. Yeah, maybe for a minute, but I mean, if you hate making videos about a certain topic, you're not going to be doing it for very long.
Nope. Because
it's hard. It's hard to do YouTube. Everything that you've got going on, all the other things and demands of running your business. And then on top of that, you're asked to like come up with an idea for a video and a script and a
those
thumbnail.
Services are really expensive too, Joe.
Yeah.
So you're paying a company for a script, you're paying them to do the title, you're paying them to do your SEO, you're paying them to do your description, and then you're paying them to do the thumbnail, right? on content that you may or may not even like making, right?
Yeah.
And hoping, because you don't even know at this point, because you don't understand who you're making content for, hoping that this will work. You
Yeah.
know, and then you're just all you're doing is filling in a slot. You're not actually doing anything. You're not doing yourself a service. You're not doing your clientele a service. You're kind of almost wasting your own time. Then you're probably hiring an editor to edit it at that point too. So it's just, I sit in front of a camera, I read this script, and I'm off to the races. And if you think that's gonna help you, it really doesn't, because no one's watching it.
Yeah.
And then you'll say, well, I put it on my newsletter and I put it on my blog, so people are watching it. Not with, like, I was doing the same thing. I didn't have other people write my scripts, but I was doing the same thing. A couple hundred views is not cutting it.
Yeah, and you will get, a deal or two out of it. We're not
Mhm.
saying that you're not going to get deals or you wouldn't do it, but what we're trying to do is help you understand the potential of, like, who your audience could be because of the viewership and the user base of YouTube. Like,
Mhm.
there's so many users on you, like Joe, if he's still on the thing, would tell you how many active users there are daily, because he looked that up one time. I can't remember what it was. It was a huge amount though. But there
Mhm.
were a ton of users, and it's like, okay, well, why wouldn't you make content where those people are at and prospect with that? And if you think it's saturated and there's too many agents, like, you're dead wrong. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I would tell you right now. You're so wrong. Like,
I hear it all the time. I talk to somebody and they're in the Orlando market and they're like, well, I mean, Ken Pozak's already out in Orlando and he has a huge channel. And then they name off a couple other agents and they're like, I just waited too long. It's too saturated. I'm like, but you're you.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that only the people in Orlando are going to only watch those people. But what if they don't like those people? There is so much opportunity on YouTube. It's a wide ocean of possibilities.
Yep.
You don't have to, like, think just because a bunch of other agents in your area are making content. Don't make content like they do.
Right.
Do it your own way and you're going to have a lot more success. And not only that, you're going to end up working with the people you want to work with. You don't get stuck. Yeah, 122
Yeah, he's still
million.
on.
Yeah, 122 million daily users. Thank you, Joe.
Yes. See, I knew it.
There's a rear end for every seat, and there is a creator for every viewer. You like my edit there? You like my little censorship?
I did. That was a very good censorship right there. The thing is like, that number is, like, it just shows you how open this market is and how available it is for you to be able to generate business and generate leads. And if you're not putting content out on YouTube, you need to start, because you're missing a huge opportunity and it's only going to get better. And I think the opportunity is only going to get bigger.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, it's limitless. It's one of
Right.
those things that's absolutely limitless. What limits you on YouTube is you.
Yeah, I agree.
That's, I mean, and I've even put myself in that category. I get afraid of I'm my own worst enemy. I get because I get closed in on something and I don't think bigger.
Yeah. I would tell you this right now. If you're super curious, but you're still skeptical and you don't think that, like, what we're talking about really is true or resonates, buy a ticket and go to Vid Summit this year.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a
A lot of
ticket,
what we're saying is-
go to Vid Summit, and then let's have a conversation after that. If you don't think that you can think bigger.
Yep. I concur, Joe Eve.
We have a couple students that went there and their eyes were completely opened, and both of them are doing those two that showed up. Actually, there's a couple of them that showed up that are doing an incredible amount of business now, because it opened their minds to how big YouTube really is.
And how big is YouTube?
It's so big.
What is wrong
you're
with
such a
us?
punk, you know?
I can't
Uh,
help myself.
no, I know you can't. Are you messaging these people or are you on the live stream with me? VidSummit. Oh, let's pull it up. Can we pull up VidSummit real quick and show
Sure.
people? Let's show them. They're asking. Some people are asking. Oh, is Dion? We just had a consultation with them.
Yeah.
They're asking on Facebook. They're saying, "What is VidSummit?" Okay, here you go.
Oh, hold on. All right. Let me present the screen. Share the screen real quick. Here we go. All right. Hi. Okay, so VidSummit is a conference. They still haven't put up the new website for 2025 just yet, but this was last year's. It's a place where you can go and meet other YouTube creators. Not all of them are real estate agents, of course not, because it's a marketing conference. It's about marketing because what we're doing right now on YouTube is marketing.
Yeah.
So it's showing you how to do videos and understand creating videos for your ideal avatar. So that way you're not churning off leads before you, you know, start recording videos. It literally walks you through the whole entire process. And it makes you think, instead of saying, my goal for my channel is to get more leads, it makes you think even bigger than that.
Yep.
It's so eye-opening for people to understand like what's actually involved in creating content for the internet. And it's like a breath of fresh air because we go to these real estate conferences and then you get other real estate agents trying to teach you the things that they learned at this conference, and then they have their own agenda, right?
Yep.
This is just other creators genuinely trying to help other creators do better. And it doesn't matter what size your channel is. No one's going to ask you. Maybe they will, but rarely do people ask you, how many subscribers do you have? What kind of views do you get on your videos? Nobody asks you that. They're there genuinely to help you out. They have also the vendors that are there are also there to help your channel.
Yep.
They had what is it? Go High Level.
High Level.
Mm-hmm. Yep, High Level is there. There's other like microphone companies there sometimes. There's all
Nomadic,
sorts
bag companies, all kinds of stuff.
Yep. So it's specific to people creating content for YouTube, but they have them there for all sorts of different kinds of influencers. But you can get tickets now, and the longer you wait, the more expensive the ticket gets.
And
so right
getting
now,
lodging, like hotel stuff, it'll fill up too.
Oh yeah, and that's the biggest thing because they ran out of hotel space very quick this past year. I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was all one day too, because one company said, "Oh, we're going to bring our whole team here," and they were like, "We're buying out the rest of the Westin."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yep. And then it was gone.
And then it was gone. So yeah, so right now the ticket is just at $900, but then you like every month that goes by, it goes up another $100. So
Yep.
just saying. But it's been everybody that we've ever had come from our group to VidSummit, they're always blown away. They're always like, "Oh my god, this was amazing."
Yeah, they're like, I had no idea this even existed. Like I literally, this is a whole foreign thing to me, and they get super excited. And it's not because it's taking them away from doing what they're wanting to do, which is sell real estate. It's adding upon it. It's helping them realize I could have 2 or 3 streams of income off of this rather than just getting leads. Or rather than just working. And yes, leads are great. We want you to get leads. That's the whole reason we do the course. But there's like, how would you like the ancillary stuff to pay your house payment, your car payments, like things like that like you didn't have to worry about because every month it's coming in because you figured out how to leverage through affiliate linking and other types of marketing. And that's, in my opinion, that's the value right there, is these creators share with you everything that they do through their journey and how they monetize.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's cool, is it's like they're not pitching something from the stage, they're sharing their experience.
Mm-hmm.
Super valuable.
I concur, Joe Eves.
Yes, it is. That's where we met, right?
We did. We met on a live stream through VidSummit. So, Yeah, it's been a friendship since 2018. Circa 2018. All right, everybody. So next week we're going to go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can go ahead and post it in the real estate group, that real estate mastermind that Joe and I run now together. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them there. Don't be afraid to post your thumbnails and your title ideas. Like that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to help you guys. And no pressure. You can go ahead and do that. So, all right. So long, everybody. Go ahead and watch our really cool outro.
Yes.
And Diane and I will be sending you over that call in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So, all right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
It's the end of the stream. Christina and Joe taught you all the tricks, make your leads grow. From thumbnails to tags, you gotta be bold. YouTube's the key, turn your listings to gold. Edit those vids, make them snappy, make them fly. Engage with your audience, connect, don't be shy. Realtor to the core, but tech on your side. Hit that algorithm like a digital tide. This is the final click, now you're in the know. Use YouTube to flourish, let them listings blow. It's the small details that bring in the dough. From Christina and Joe, here's the way to go. Every upload strategic so your views ain't stopping. Consistency's key, schedule that drop. Content's king, crown it at the top. So you learn the ropes from 2 of the best. Christina and Joe, put your skills to the test. Turn those leads into clients, make your channel explode. Realtor success on the digital road. This is the final click, now you're in